Welcome to Heel Hustle.
Welcome into Heel Hustle. I am your host, Neil Matthews. Super excited that you've stopped by today to check out my new show. Just to give you a little background, a little bit of context, I've actually been podcasting on audio for the last 6 years in a show called Other People's Shoes. We just celebrated 6 years. And I thought, what a better way to branch out as a creator than to start a YouTube video show. Now, I've heard it said, if you talk about something you're passionate about, it really doesn't seem like work. I don't know who said that, but it seemed to stand to reason. So let me introduce you to our show. It's called Heel Hustle. The idea behind the show is we're going to dig deep into all things North Carolina. In fact, right now, we're going to watch a little clip on how my North Carolina journey began.
They have no timeouts remaining.
He causes too many timeouts. That's a technical foul.
He called a timeout. Michigan doesn't have any.
He got by with a walk, and Jimmy calls a he calls a timeout. He doesn't realize that's Michigan's too many, and so it'll be a technical foul. North Carolina shooting and the ball. A huge mental mistake.
Chris Webber and the timeout that he didn't have. That happened back in 1993, in case you're wondering. So just to give you a little bit of context, my brother at the time is a Michigan fan. And we're playing basketball pretty much every day because we got 3 channels when we first moved to Oregon. We got NBC, CBS, ABC. That's it. So we played a lot of basketball. And my brother said he was going to watch this game. And I said, well, who are you going to root for? And he said, Michigan. And I said, okay, well, who's Michigan playing? And he said, I don't know. North Carolina. Let me tell you, they came out in those light blue uniforms you just saw, the Argyle down the side. Yeah, you can see it right here. I was hooked. I didn't know about Dean Smith. I definitely didn't know about Michael Jordan. And for me, that was a heel print moment. Now you might be asking yourself, what exactly is a heel print moment? We'll get to that momentarily. But let me give you a little bit of context again of my show and what we're going to be talking about. See, at North Carolina, Dean Smith implemented what he called the Carolina Way. Now, what that involves, if you're not familiar with that, is play hard, play smart, and play together. This show is going to celebrate the pride, the tradition, the legacy of UNC sports. You see, I myself, believe it or not, even though I live in Oregon, I'm actually a Tar Heel born, Tar Heel bred, Tar Heel till I'm dead. I was born in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. In case you're wondering, yes, I drank the water. That might explain a little bit of peculiarness to the show, but hopefully not too much. I actually broadcast from the Shoe Shack Studios, as you can see behind me. In my mind, it is the best Tar Heel hangout there is on the West Coast. I have a lot of Tar Heel memorabilia in here, as you might imagine. So we're going to get into that in later episodes. But Heel Hustle is going to have something unique in every show, and that's a heel print. You might know this if you're a Tar Heels fan. If you ever look at one of the older logos, it's a foot with a tar on the end of the heel. I call that a heel print. And so every show, we're going to have this idea of a heel print moment, an idea that something that has marked you and maybe even marked me. So we're going to dig into that momentarily. So don't forget about that. One of the other things we're going to do on this show is we're going to talk to former players. We're going to talk to coaches. We're going to talk to the fans. We're going to talk to those diehard fans even. We're going to relive some of those unforgettable Tar Heel moments. We're going to hear personal stories. We're going to look at insight. We're going to talk about all things, again, North Carolina. We're going to dig deep into those who have walked those hallowed halls and those hallowed grounds of Chapel Hill. We'll also sprinkle in some Tar Heel trivia just to kind of mess with you a little bit, and maybe some little known facts that maybe you're not aware of. Again, we're going to dig deep into the history of UNC and what makes it so iconic. So whether you're just maybe a beginning fan, or maybe you're a lifelong fan like me, don't worry, there's room for everybody. Because again, one of the things we're going to do is we're going to talk Tar Heels, we're going to talk truths, and we're also going to talk together, which is kind of the Tar Heel family way, isn't it? So grab your favorite pair of Jordans, lace them up, and let's get ready to hustle. So back to that heel print moment. It got me thinking. Chris Webber has probably one of the most iconic moments in college sports history. In fact, some would even say this was maybe his biggest mistake of his life. And it got me thinking. And maybe this is our first heel print moment. What is the biggest mistake you've ever had? How did that mark affect you going forward? Now, for me, one of my funnier, heel print moments was as I always talk to my wife about my fandom, and a lot of my friends know about my fandom. And I thought, okay, I'm going to really put it to the test. I'm going to get a tattoo. Now, that's permanent. That's a heel print that doesn't go away. And in fact, take a look at that right there. That is, in fact, the North Carolina Ram. I'm a big believer in being a part of a community. I'm a big believer in making sure everyone feels welcome and accepted. And I guess that to me is what I love most about the Tar Heels. Now listen, we haven't had our greatest moments, especially this year. It's been a little rough. But I believe in every moment and every season of life, there are ways to learn, there are ways to grow, and there are ways to learn from our mistakes. Now, you'll be happy to know, at least in my mind, that mistake Chris Webber made didn't ruin his life. I'm sure it's affected him in some way. But the idea is that mistake he made, he learned from it. He grew from it. Mistakes are there to teach us. So, maybe down below in the comments, if you're willing, share with us maybe one of your mistakes that you've made that you've learned from and that you've grown from, and how that heel print moment has maybe affected you, but now has helped you to maybe help others out. I'm Neil Matthews with Heel Hustle. We'll catch you in the next episode. Bye for now.